Hey guys, Mailposta here again. Today I have been asked to do a tutorial on how to make a charm for this guy. I think he's off of, what is it, Card Captor Sakura, something like that. Yeah, so first I will position my camera correctly, please. Okay. So first, I'll be telling you everything that you need in order to make your charm. I'm gonna start off with some clay, obviously. I have Sculpey. There's other brands out there, but you just have to make sure that it's an oven-baked clay, the kind that stays soft until you bake it. With this particular charm, I suppose you could go ahead and get colored clay if you want, but I'm just going to be painting mine, so I'm just going to use white clay for now. But I will show you how to shape it, so that's pretty much all you need if you're going to be using colored clay. Alright, so you're going to need an eye pin, that little thing right there. You can buy them or make them with wire and round pliers. Yeah. So you're going to need an eye pin and razor blade. What? Go in the thing. No. There we go. Okay. And if you're doing white clay like I am, you're going to need some detail brushes in order to paint it. Let me get my brushes. So just some small detail brushes that you can, get all the little details with, although this particular character doesn't have too many details, so pretty much you just need something to paint on the face with. Which I'm going to be using this very tiny brush here. And then if you're painting it, you're going to need acrylic paints. Can't use like water-based paints. Watercolors doesn't work. You're also going to need a pan to bake it in. Make sure it is not a non-stick pan, because that just doesn't work for whatever reason. I don't know. I was just told not to do it. And then you need something to seal it with when you're finished. They have products that are specifically for sealing clay projects, but I don't have any of those, so I just use top coat fingernail polish, but it has to be a good brand if you're doing this, because a lot of the cheaper brands tend to flake off. It doesn't work very well. Need a flat, smooth surface to work on so that you don't get any unwanted textures. Something to roll your clay with. Yeah, I just use a marker for now. Anyways, alright, so I will go ahead and start showing you how to shape whatever his name is. I've never personally watched it, so I don't know how to pronounce his name. My sleeves here. Okay. Start by obviously getting out your clay. Helps if you have a picture of what you're trying to create up, so that you have a better idea of what you're trying to get at. So just take a small-ish piece of clay. It really doesn't matter what size you make it, honestly. can make it whatever size you want. So, alright, so to start off, we're going to shape the head. So get about whatever size you want the head to be, amount of clay. You want to knead your clay first so that it's nice and soft, easy to work with. Mess it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then his head is extremely round, so just make a ball. Okay, so a ball for the head. And then next we're going to make the body. So take, I think for this one, yeah, maybe about the same amount that you used for the head. Knead it here. Okay, so let's kind of roll it up into a ball first. And then we're going to just kind of round it out a little bit, making it a little bit narrower at the top than at the bottom. So something of that effect should do. And then if you have liquid clay, I would suggest using that to attach this, but I do not, so just kind of gonna twist it on there a little bit. Okay. And then next, going to make the legs. So you just want to take a small amount of clay for that. Roll it up. And then kind of roll it out just a little bit. Making it, again, a little narrower at one end than the other. Okay. If you have sculpting tools, those are very helpful. I do not, so I kind of just use what I've got. Okay, so you're going to want something kind of like that. And then we're just going to take it and kind of fold it a bit at the bottom to make these little feet. Kind of flatten it out a little bit. There we go. And then make another one. Okay. So we've got that. We're going to attach them on the side here. Just kind of squish it on there, and then if you have sculpting tools, you can use those to kind of blend in the side of the leg a little bit. I don't, so I just use the back end of my paintbrush. Actually works pretty decently well. There, we've got one leg. And then get the other one on there. Okay, and then just kind of smooth it out a little bit with your finger. That's what we got so far. Okay, next we're going to make the arms. So, sit over there for a minute. There we go. And take probably a little bit less clay than you used for the legs. And just kind of roll it out. Again, make one end a little thinner than the other. His hands don't have any particular shape, so okay. And then just attach it. Do the same thing that you did with the legs and blend it in. And then do the other one. So he's kind of got his arm up like that, like he's kind of waving. Just kind of do that. And then blend it. Okay. Move it out. Okay. Alright. And then next, we're going to make his ears. Now, this is where you're going to want your rolling tool, whatever you've got. I actually think I'm going to get a little more clay than this, just because it's easier to work with more than less. You just kind of want to roll it into a ball really quick. Sit down, flatten it out a little bit, and then roll it out. You definitely don't want it to be too thick, but you also don't want it to be too thin. Makes it really difficult to peel off of the whatever surface you're doing it on without it ripping or distorting. If you get it too thick, then it looks kind of funny. So you probably want it about, let's see, what is that, maybe about 3 millimeters thick. Yeah, about there. 2 to 3. That should do. And this is where you're going to want your razor blade so that we can cut these out. So eventually you want something that's shaped like that. No, this way. Yeah, like that. And then I take a little, I don't even know what he is. He looks like a bear and a mouse and a lion with wings. Anyways, I'm just gonna attach the ear to the side here. This is such a bad angle, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so just gonna attach the ear out there and just kind of shape it from there. And then of course at the back you want to use whatever sculpting tools you have to just kind of blend it into the back there like we did the arms and the legs. Then we have one ear done. And then you want to do the same thing all over again so that you can make the other ear. And we've got his ears. Okay, and then next, we're gonna do his wings. Now, with wings, you wanna, I gotta come off the space. Keep sticking to the table because there's a bunch of clay deposits on it. Here we go. Okay. So basically with the wings, what you want to do is you just want to get a small amount of clay and just roll it out so it's kind of thin like that. And you want to do 3 of these. Don't worry about them being any sort of length right now, just try and get them the same size around. So now what we're going to do with this camera. Alright, fine. Just don't want to do it, do you? Okay. So now you've got your 3 pieces. What you want to do is you want to combine them into the shape of how his wings are formed. As we have one here, and then make one there, and one there. So kind of a gradual and up. So you're gonna put them together like that, and then once they're together like that, you're gonna use your razor blade to kind of trim it down a bit so that it's, you know what? Yeah, like that. And then gonna very carefully pick it up. And that's actually too long. So cut a little excess off again. There we go. Trial and error. Just cut it to where it fits your little guy well enough. And then once you have it on there, kind of do the same that you've done with all the rest of the attachments and blend it in. And then of course make the second wing. Is the tail. Don't worry if the wings are kind of like coming down like that. As long as you set him in a specific position in the pan, they won't dry down like that, and I'll show you what to do for that. So the last thing is the tail, and his tail's really thin, so might be a little bit difficult. That's about as far as I'm gonna go with it. And then he's got a little fluff ball on the end of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a little ball, and then I'm just gonna take it and kind of use my fingernails to make little, if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm sure you could have other tools that will do that for you better than how I'm doing it, but yeah, work with what you got. And then just attach it to the end of the tail. To make sure you hold them in a certain position so the tail doesn't break off. You want to be very, very careful about that. Alright, now that that's done, you still be very, very careful with the tail. And we're going to get our eye pin here and cut it down with your wire cutters to about Well, he's kind of big, so to about that size. Okay, and then just stick it right through the top there. And we're done shaping him. So the way that I'm going to lie him down in the pan, very specific so that the tail won't break off or be in a weird shape, and the wings will stay how they're supposed to be. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm being very careful. I'm going to lay him on his back, and so that the tail will kind of come up. Just kind of move it there. There. So that's kind of what an easy way to lay him down in the pan so that everything dries the way it's supposed to. And then just put that in the oven and bake it for the amount of time that it tells you to on the back of your box or the side, wherever they put it, it'll tell you. And we'll get to that when I'm done baking him. Okay, so mine is done baking. He's stuck in the pan. To be very careful when you peel them out. I haven't had one break on me yet, but I'm sure it's possible. So, after he is cooled, that's what he looks like. Little tail sticks up. And now, we are going to paint him. I'm going to do this in super quick time, because this video is already ridiculously long.
Work it, make it, do it, make sense. Harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, power, never. Ever, after, work is over. Work it, make it, do it, make sense. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, make sense, stronger.
Okay, so I am done painting it now. And next, after it dries, I will coat it with this. Have to wait for it to dry though. So here's what he looks like when he is finished. Isn't he cute? Yeah. Okay, well, I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. And if you have any questions or more requests for me, just leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. Take care.